Hi there, it's Kim Baker with Kim's Creative Corner, and I've gotten a lot of questions about how I did this butterfly card, mostly how I did the mechanism to make the butterfly flutter. Um, and I cased this from Jay at matosicrafts.com, but he used the cuckoo clock dies to make his butterfly flutter. So I had to come up with an alternative that worked, that didn't use those dies. So I want to show you that today. We're not going to put the whole card together. I just want to show you what I did to make the mechanism work. So I'm going to use purple posy for this card so that I can change it up a bit. But I started with a 5.5 by 8-inch piece of cardstock, and we score it at 2 and at 6. So when you're done, it looks like this, a typical gatefold, right? But on this piece, we want to go ahead and mark it at the 2 3/4 mark. Just a light pencil mark, and the 5 1/4 mark. Okay, we can set that aside. Then our next piece is 2.5 across the top by 5.5. And this piece, we are going to mark 2 inches down. And all I did was make a line where the end of the ruler landed. Okay. And then acrossways, we want to make a mark on that line at the 1 16th and the 1 3/8. Okay? So you can see that, how I did that. So those dots are where we are going to make some openings. And in order to do that, again, I didn't have the cuckoo clock dies, so I used the handle from the sliding door framelits. And that is right here. See that? And that's all I did. I centered those dots. Those 2 dots, I centered them in the middle of both of the handles, and this is what my cardstock now looks like after running it through the Parisian Flourish embossing folder. Okay, see those? All right. Then the next step I did was I took 2 pieces of 2-inch long by 7/16 inch strips, and they're both scored at 1/2 inch. Okay, and the reason they need to be 7/16 instead of a 1/2 inch is so that they can fit through the openings, these handle openings. Okay, so that's how we do. We just, well, let's burnish the fold. Okay, and just put them through behind. Just like that. So this is going to sit between our 2 pencil marks on the top of this 8-inch wide piece. This panel sits right there. And then these are going to flutter behind it. See how they flutter if you move the mechanism? Okay. Okay, so I want to get some tear and tape on here so we can adhere that down. And I've also found that I like to put half of a mini dimensional in between that opening so that when these move, they kind of have a stopper. Okay, and I'm going to get my mini dimensionals. All right. And I'm just going to cut one in half. Okay. Make sure these are in here. Sorry, my dogs are obviously going to interrupt my taping. Obviously, the youngster is antagonizing the old one. Okay, so you can see how that moves. Now, we'll put this aside for a minute. Excuse me. Now on to the rest of the mechanism. We are taking, this piece is 3 1/4 long by 1 1/2 wide. And we are going to score it at several places and then cut it in half so the next mechanism is equal. So let me get my trimmer over here. Okay, so we are going to start at the 3/8 mark. Then the 3/4 mark. Then the 1 1/8 mark. One 1/2. 1 7/8. And 2 1/4. Okay, you can see that. And now we are going to be rolling this up, so I need to take just a hair off of this edge so that it doesn't impede on the other side when I glue it together. You'll see what I mean. So I'm just going to take a hair off of that. Okay. And now we cut it down the middle to make 2 3/4 inch strips. Maybe. One looks a little bit bigger than the other one. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to kind of roll this up a little bit just to give it some memory before I start gluing. And we're going to want this to look, this diamond piece is going to be what pulls it in and out. So each side, I want to make that look like a diamond. Just like that. And they're going to sit this way on our card. This part will be glued to our card. And this will be what moves the arm for the wings. Okay, so let's get some glue and get that going. All right, easy enough, right? Now, bringing in the card base, when we put this together, we want these two tabs sticking straight up when we go to glue. And I like to only glue this side. That's going to be, oh, I guess I better wait till this is all stuck together, huh? Okay. Looks like they're sticking well now. But this line here in the center of the diamond is going to be on our spine. So I'm going to glue. I just want to glue this side. I could glue both of them that are going to hit the bottom, but I like this piece to be freer. Oops, now I need to glue. Can't forget to glue it to the mechanism. So we're just going to go right here. Just this tab that's showing. Just a little bit of glue there. Enough to get it sticky, but not so that it oozes out and sticks to the card back. Okay, my tab is straight up. Gonna slide this under. Match up that line with the spine. Wait for it to stick down. We'll do the other side. Light glue there. Make sure this is up. Line up this center of that diamond area with that spine. Voila! And see how they move. Give that a second to dry. Put that aside over here, and we can start on our butterfly. Now I've pre-cut this and glued it together, but this is from the, is it Beauty Abounds? Butterfly Beauty Thinlit dies. And I just used for this card, I'm having a brain lapse. It is Mango Melody and then the black foil sheets. Okay. So I start here while I'm giving that mechanism a little time to dry. I just put a little glue on the center of the butterfly's body. Obviously, I've cut the butterflies apart. Both of them apart at the wings. So the body just gets just a little bit of glue on the center, and I leave the head and tail kind of free and put him right there in the middle. Okay. And then the wings, just glue the centerpiece. And ta-da! You have a fluttering butterfly. Isn't that cool? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can email me at paintfancy@yahoo.com. I love to read your comments, so if you wouldn't mind leaving me a comment, that would be great. This is my first teaching video, so it's been quite a teaching moment for me. So I appreciate you watching, and if you don't have a demonstrator, if you don't currently have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can go to my blog or my Facebook page and shop with me there. I also love to have new team members, so if you're looking for a great deal and you want $125 worth of product for $99 and no shipping, plus right now with Celebration, there's an awful lot of freebies and extras that you get when you buy the starter kit. So contact me for more details. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.